Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Powerful Impact Podcast. And today I have Marquis with me. We from THHC Podcast. My home away from home, my buddy, he's here to talk about some stuff that's been bothering the shit out of me.
It's like therapy, right? When I come to the show, huh?
Already. It's been bothering me completely. But while I put the StreamYard link in the description, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and your show?
I can do that. Appreciate it. Appreciate the for being on the show. I know you're like my secret. They don't know you're my secret weapon, man, because that's why I bring you on my show, the THHC Podcast, which stands for the Hip Hop Connoisseur Podcast, and it comes on Fridays at 8 p.m. live on YouTube. So go check it out. I also have the Passive Podcast, which I do with two guys from Boston, and we do it Sundays live at 6 p.m. on YouTube as well. But the THHC Podcast is which she joins me on SP, and we break down a lot of albums, sometimes with the artists, which is great because you get the introspective view of the artist live. You know what I'm saying? You break down each song track by track, and sometimes the artists or the producers join you. And if not, we just have fun breaking down an album. Hopefully we get close, and hopefully we please the artists and stuff like that, and do a great job. So
Already,
I'm
going to repost the link to Twitter real quick. I was kind of having this issue because every day on Twitter, I could wake up and I see all of these trending topics. And no matter how many times I see the trending topic, it's always Black women or it's Black men. And it was starting to get on my damn nerves.
Give me an example, because I'm on Twitter too, but I follow we follow in some of the same circles, but not all of them.
This is just random topics. So occasionally I'll get on there and run across the Black men ain't shit tropes and independent Black women are a problem or issue, all of these rules and criteria, and it just seems like it's so much hate and division. And I started asking myself, is this Black love shit real, or is this a figment of our imagination now? And most of the time, it's always the same three topics. The Black women aren't submissive, or Black women aren't feminine, or, emotional, men don't have emotional integrity, and women are too independent. They don't have no room for a man.
Well, let's break it down. Let's talk about submission first, right?
Yeah.
Submission can mean a lot to a lot of people, right? And it varies on when you're talking about the subject. And it varies. When I say that, it varies within the years. Like in the 1960s or the 1800s, submission meant something different. You know what I mean? Maybe it was more rough, more 90% man control. It's 10%. Well, not even that. Maybe 100% men controlled submission. Like they were submissive. They was the ones to do whatever they wanted. It wasn't a 50-50 I love you type thing. Let's be submissive together. Let's respect each other's bodies, respect each other's time. That's changed. So that's how that is now. So if you want to be submissive and with your partner and you want to do whatever, right? But it's all about respect. You got to respect the body, you got to respect the mind, the time, the peace, the whatever is going on. And you could be submissive. And I think Black women are submissive. If you love any woman, if you love, like I date is Black women. I ain't gonna lie. There's Black women But so are they submissive? They can be. You know, if you love somebody, you talk to them, you gotta understand it that I like this, you like this. Let's do it. Let's please each other and let's continue to do it. Why can't they be submissive? And if you're talking about something like, you know, them, we both come home from work, but the woman's working, doing all the chores still, and that's submissive. Like the man's, you know, he comes home and he just puts his feet on the table and drinks a beer, and she's running around with the kids and laundry and after she worked. Is that submissive? Like, what is that? Is that what people are calling submissive these days?
So, I got confused on that shit too, because I was like, submissive. What exactly do you mean by submissive? So I just looked it up. And submission in marriage means selflessness, service, accountability, and respect for your partner. So your partner's opinions are just as important as your own when making decisions. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. So on the woman's part, because I wanted to look and see what everybody was so against when it comes to the idea of submission. And it was basically let him take the lead, ask for his opinion, think of his needs, try not to criticize or speak negatively, be intimate frequently, talk to him about changes in the marriage, and don't accept abuse. So
hold on. It says don't, because it all leans towards the man, right? But then like at the end it says don't be abusive. That's funny how it says let the man be in control, but just don't beat her. Is that what that's saying? I mean, that's
basically, but it also says that goes both ways.
Yeah, it could. Yeah. A woman could dominate. Yeah.
Well, not even dominate. It's just
be submissive.
When you hear these characteristics, I would expect that from my husband too. Selflessness, service, accountability, and respect for your partner. I don't understand where the problem comes in.
I don't see a problem. I don't. That's why, like, when you saying that, I'm like, but the definition of it is catered towards I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? But that it should be the definition. Is that the definition recently? The same. I mean, it's probably not recently, but it's the same one from years past.
Well, this is the one. This is recently. So years past, if you are going into that traditional realm, then you have to accept all of the burden that comes with that traditional realm. So if you are going to be the breadwinner and I'm going to be home all day, then for me, that's, if you want to, if I have to bend a little, then then that's what you do. But that is in the case of a tradition. How many people are living like that?
I don't know, and I think I think a lot of people will tell the truth if they a lot of people are not telling the truth how they live. You already know that, but I mean to be realistic, probably not a lot. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna first of all, who's gonna admit they have a submissive relationship? I mean, I know black men, that's why they say black men go to different tribes of women, right? Because black women are not as submissive. They saying like, because that, well, first of all, it's not culturally genetic for the black woman to be submissive. From Africa, wherever, you know what I'm saying, like wherever you want to start our generation, right? Because it's just not in our history for a black woman to be, as submissive. I won't say because there was kings and there was women, like kind of that too. But at the same time, if you think about it, it was the queens would, you know what I'm saying, they was just as important as the kings. Of course, they probably had servants and people that they dominated and things of that nature, but I don't know. Like in a relationship, I believe that it was more respect with black
Uh-huh.
men. And I think it's still to this day, it's more black respect between the couples. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
So,
Eric, what
yeah.
up, baby?
What's up, OG? How you doing, man?
What's going on, sir? Thanks for joining.
Nothing much, man. Thank you, man. Thank
So let's talk about it. What does submission mean to you,
Eric.
Mr.
you. Oh, my
Eric?
bad.
Oh, she's talking to you,
I
sir.
think it.
Say my show.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I seen it when I pressed the link. I was like, my brother Marquise up here trying to drop some jewels. But I think the term for submission for me being a young black man, see, I'm almost 30, so I think it's a woman just doing everything and all for her man in a positive way instead of just going out and just trying to make her man happy in a negative way. A relationship is two people coming together and trying to make something better of themselves. See, I look at older couples. I look at that and I be like, I want to be like that when I grow up. I want to be that at an older age. I just don't want to be out here with 10 kids and 5 baby mamas just going through,
Mhm.
a Maury episode. See, I see the submission in a good relationship being a positive manner instead of something that's so negative that so many women in our community right now in this generation see that as a negative factor. I really don't see that as a negative factor. I see that as something positive in like a good situation with a good man. It make the relationship last longer instead of it just being something negative.
Yeah, I think the problem is people don't really understand submission. They don't understand it in a real term. My mom and dad's been married 51 years. My mom's always worked. My mom's all, but she also had three daughters. So it's a difference because that burden that was on her was not a burden because she had three daughters. It's different when you work 16 hours and you come home and you trying to clean up an entire house and you walk in and he's sitting on the couch eating a sandwich and you just got off the 16-hour shift, you're going to feel some type of way. Anybody would feel some type of way. And vice versa. So I think when it comes to submission, if you actually um, understood it, you would see that it means selflessness, and selflessness means on both parts. It's not a one-way street. So you can't expect somebody to, this is not the 50s. So if you're holding women of today in the standards of the 50s, then it's going to fail because there's no there unless you make a certain amount of money, there's no way you can stay home all day.
Yeah, Eric, you was gonna say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. You read my mind, brother. I just want to go off what the sister said. It's definitely not the 50s. Certain women in our community nowadays want a man to make a certain amount of money, and when you don't make that certain amount of money, they're gonna look at you as a lesser person, even less than a man. So you'll have to be on a higher standard with some of these women, and not all women in our community are like that because you do see black couples struggling with each other instead of just running away from a man or a woman just going to the other side. You definitely do see the black love and black people coming together as one to struggle and just make something of themselves. And nowadays, some of these women ain't built like their grandmothers or even their mothers from the past couple of generations. They don't really know what it means to struggle when you out here working a job. Most of these women don't even want to work a job. They think that OnlyFans and certain things to do for a little piece of change or something, they're gonna last longer in the situation. But their money can be spent. They don't really know how to they don't really know how to handle a household for a real good man. They so used to being around bums and expected them to actually hold the fort down. They ain't really used to a real man out here working, coming home to, kids and trying to build something with that woman in their life or that man in their life.
So with that being noted, um, is that a majority of Black women, or is it just the women that you see on Instagram or Twitter or on the OnlyFans? Because I've never seen it. At least even in my daughter's peer group, anybody whose goals was to get an OnlyFans page. That wasn't, that wasn't in her purview. But it's just this. So my question is it just those women and people are looking at them and applying it to all, or is it wider spread than that?
I would hope not. I wouldn't hope that the generation, and what's this generation? What's this called? Generation, what do they call this generation? But
I
the
think
young
it's Generation X. I
I
think.
forgot.
Generation X. I hope they don't think Generation X speaks for the culture or men or women or Black relationships. Yes, we are. It's getting worse. Families are getting more divided. Women are becoming more of the manly role because of men being gone from the family. Men are actually being more feminine. Out there with the pants, low or tight jeans or weird, just
Mhm.
wearing weird things. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on with the family dynamic being broken up. And Eric made a great point about just women in general these days, that yeah, it's so easy to gravitate to do something more negative and get paid that way. You don't do through Instagram modeling or being a thought or whatever they call it, or
Mhm.
chasing. But hopefully they don't reflect that on everybody. Everybody. No, it's not everybody. It's never everybody. You know that.
Well, not
Yeah.
everybody. I just mean majority. I don't think it's. Do you think it's a majority of black women of Black women coming up, or is it just the ones you see the most because we're so much on social media?
I think it's a balance of it because they're gonna show the women in a negative manner instead of just showing like certain women in our community in a positive manner. Say on TV, they're gonna show like the love and hip hop type crowd or the
Mhm.
ratchet type crowd of like Bad Girls Club. Our community is not built like that. Definitely in the year 2022, they're gonna show that at a higher percentage than they're gonna show a sophisticated woman like you or a woman that has her stuff together. They don't want to show that in a positive manner. Most of the time, they're gonna show it in a negative manner. So you just can't let that um be the stereotype of black women just because they showing it all the time on mainstream media. We know they're gonna do that because they've been doing it for the past hundreds of years, just showing a negative stereotype of black men and women. So I can tell the difference between a good, sophisticated woman who actually want to do something with themselves and a thought. You can identify them by the look, by the long fingernails, the bonnets. Most of them just be coming out the house with them funky $5 tights on. And not to
Oh
say
my
that
God,
certain
this
women
dude's
that
funny.
I keep
it
forget how funny
and
that
not
is.
it yeah, my bad. And
But you
not
know
to
you're
say that
serious. Go on, though.
and not to say that women wear stuff like that, they're thought, but some of the women that wear stuff like that, they carry themselves in like a negative manner by the dialogue that they talk, the way they act around certain people. It just you can tell the difference between a black person who actually wanted to make something of themselves and excuse my French, a nigga. Like we can tell the difference in our community. So it's a balance between the good people and the bad people. With us in our community, we can identify somebody who be on some bull, and we can identify somebody who actually on a positive, on a positive vibe.
Well, you definitely don't want to see my 20 pair of black tights I have.
But that was a different era. Even when y'all did wear stuff like that, what era was you wearing that stuff in? Like the 80s or the 70s? Y'all had class back then. Y'all knew how to go out and have fun. Y'all had the design. Y'all had the good clothing and stuff. Nowadays, Like you don't even gotta imagine what some of these women are wear, man. Like they just show it ain't no imagination. Like they're
No
school and
imagination.
everything, but
Everything.
I,
To the
I
root to the
actually
tutor.
want to imagine what a woman look like with her clothes off. I actually want to see a woman in like good clothing. I just don't want to see it all out there. Like, what's the excitement in that? Like, I don't get
So
no excitement out of that.
so let's flip the script and put the shoe on the other foot, because I always see men saying what they want in women, and yet when women say what they want in men, it's always, you're too picky. You if his fingernails is dirty, that means he worked hard. Like they didn't invent fingernail files, that you could clean up under your nails with. You know what I mean? Or uh, he walking around with his pants hanging out his ass, or they have on them tight ass skinny jeans with all they focus showing for the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with the holes in it that cost
With
$500. They wear Versace belts but can't pay their rent. This I know what you talking
or
about.
they
Yeah,
walking around with them holy ass drawers in the back, and then have this idea that a woman
Attracted to that?
should be somewhere on a different level, and yet we are allowed to just be.
But you had a question prior to going off on a little tangent. What was the question? The original question? You said something. If it was reverse, you had a question. SP. What was it?
Which one?
No, you
I
was
have
about
a
to.
couple of questions.
Oh, because you was running. You said what if the tables would turn, and then you started like.
Yeah, what if the tables are turned? What is required um, of men? Because it's very easy to pick apart a woman's
Appearance.
attire, especially when you are, if you're lower income and you're only making so much money, and you can buy those $5 tights and a $8 t-shirt, and that's what you can afford. But now you're labeled a thought because you dress that way.
No, I don't believe that's the theory. I think I've been poor a long time, and like really poor, like back in the day. Like back in the day, I have
Yeah.
stories of being poor, like you know what I mean. So I knew how to, and we knew how to still dress. Even like the women back then and the men back then, we still was cheap clothes. It was, we probably sharing each other's pants, whatever we were doing to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Still had class enough to, have a belt on or maybe a
Yeah.
nice shirt on. The girls, even
Yeah.
if they did wear the tight $2 tights, they probably had a nice long skirt on. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Over it.
Christy.
You know what I mean? They just dressed better. Like Eric said, they had more class. They had more.
Yeah.
They had a little sex appeal, but they, you know what I'm saying? They might tie up the shirt a little bit, do something, whatever. Maybe wear a shorter skirt or something, but give us still a little peak. But it was still more classy than what's going on now. Eric, man, he's right, man. These women these days, they act. You go on their Instagrams or YouTube pages or even Facebook now and the stories, and
Yeah.
these women got it spread open, wide open. In the story, like the story things, and I'm like, what is going on right now? Hey, Christy, how you doing?
So how do you fix that? I mean, how do you even address that? Because they got it from somewhere. It came out. It came out of somewhere. If you're saying our generation dressed differently, then if our generation dressed differently, then where did they get it?
I mean, you get it from your parents, you get it from your circle, you get it from your environment, right? I grew up, like I said, poor, but my mom's made sure I ironed my clothes, or I took care of my clothes and my socks. If I had 2 pairs of socks, I took care of those 2 pairs of socks. If I had sneakers, if I had 1 pair of sneakers and 1 pair of shoes, man, them things were the shiniest shoes on the block. You know what I'm saying? The sneakers probably lasted 80 years, and you look like they was new out the box.
Yeah.
You just knew how to treat your clothes, and just seeing your mother and your father or whoever your people around you dress well.
Mm-hmm.
It was just passed down. It was, it's every generation tries to get different. I get it. Every generation wants to get different with clothing, but it's getting outrageous. Eric knows, right, Eric?
Yeah. Well, I done seen some things, sir. I done seen some things, and I
Go
wish
ahead.
my eyes have not seen none of these things these kids are wearing now, because these dudes are wearing skirts now. They looking like Japanese preteens in an anime show. Like, you'll be surprised what some of these kids are wearing out here. It just shamed me to see some of these kids out here wearing stuff like that. And with these rappers coming out of the closet now, they think that's a positive thing to do. To each his own though. But I didn't grow up like that. I was born in '94, so my parents taught me how to be a man. Just to go to school, try to learn the best way I can, get a job, because college ain't for everybody. You see your parents working, you be like, if college don't work out for me, I got to get a job and just maintain my status in life. But some of these kids out here and some of these dudes out here, they just don't have no respect for their elders, sagging their pants, wearing two left feet, just doing all types of stuff. How you gonna run away from the cops and you don't got no belt on? These dudes wearing lipstick, Maybelline makeup, like it's weird out here.
So
It's
my
really weird out
question.
here.
So that
It's
brings me
really
back
weird.
to my first question. I see all these men demanding submission, but how do you submit to that?
You can repeat the question again. I can hear you.
I said I see all of these men demanding submission, but how do you submit to that when you see that kind of character and that kind of um, people carrying themselves like that? What is uh, what is there about them that would make you be confident in them enough to submit?
You talk about as a woman's perspective, them dressing like that or doing stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And why would you even want, for me, if I am dating somebody and I see them go get a payday loan, I know you are shitty with finances, and the chances of me submitting to that is zero. Because if you can't make good decisions in your life, I know you gonna fuck up mine.
You
Fact.
gonna have your credit score in the 300s. Don't do it, sister. Don't do it.
I'm just saying. So when you see those kinds of that kind of, it, I guess because I grew up in the '90s, and in the '90s, men were scarce anyway because of it, the big haul away of black men in the prison
The
system
jail
in
system,
the
yeah, exactly.
'80s and '90s.
Yeah. In the bar.
So men always say women are masculine, but we kind of had to be
Oh, that's
because
100%.
it was just us. We
No,
didn't have like a whole lot of people we could depend on.
you know what that era reminded me of? SP, you know how a lot of black men went to prison, like what was it? I would say 90s, 2000s, whatever. It still goes on, but it was heavy at one point, right?
Yeah,
It reminded me of when America went to war and the women were home, and they had to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, that's what happened to black women. Black women had to step up, work, take care of kids, do everything. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they had to be a little bit more, I don't say manly, but like more at least throw those manly values their way to their kids. I mean, what do you think, Eric?
You said it right, brother. The women back then had to be more, tougher during that time era where the incarceration rate for black men was at a higher rate thanks to creepy Joe Biden with that 94 crime bill. That really had a major impact on our community, and definitely the three strikes law, with the crack cocaine, laws being inflicted on the community. So I didn't mind that women was more sophisticated back then, and I still don't mind that women are a little more tougher because you got to be tougher in the year of, the super sensitive people out here in our community. You can't really critique certain people like you could back in the day. People had tougher skin, so I don't mind that our women in our community are much tougher. I tell you now, some of the women are tougher than some of the men nowadays. You'll be surprised, man. You get in a fight, dude don't even want to help his woman while she getting her ass beat. Next thing you know, she'll end up knocking three people out, and you out there with a bloody nose. So that goes to show me that some of these men out here, not just in our community, but in other communities, have a coward mentality about themselves. How you not gonna protect your woman and you ain't even out here trying to defend yourself and your honor? So that just shows me that certain people in our community don't need to get with a certain sophisticated type of woman that actually can build something with you and actually bring you up to a certain level. Because certain people in our community are gonna be with the people that they want to be with. If you want to be with a bum, you're gonna be with a bum. If you want to upgrade to a good man, or at least an average man who actually trying to do something for themselves, I mean, it's to each his own. Certain women gonna pick the man they choose just off their history of men. They don't know how to choose a real good man. Look at me. I'm an average, looking, 9 to 5 type of person. If I go up to a woman, say this, like, say like a Cardi B type of person, you think I'd be able to get her if I didn't have no money? But if I walked up to her sagging my pants, dressing like I'm in an NBA YoungBoy video, and I got $100 bills stacked on top of $100 bills, she'll be all on me like flies on what. So it's just certain people that are gonna be with certain people, in our community. And I just hope that certain women and certain men in our community can learn from their mistakes before it's too late.
Well, that comes to my second topic: emotional integrity. So, emotional integrity is the courage to acknowledge your true feelings, wants, and desires without judging them through a societal lens. So, I am one of those people. When I get off work, I don't want you talking to me. I want to be left alone for at least an hour. Just leave me alone. And then when I'm ready to talk, I will come where you are.
Who are you referring
Because
to? Everybody?
that's just how I am. But I know that about me.
Wait, wait,
But
wait, wait. Who are you referring to? Yourself? Like you mean everybody? Everybody? When you get off
just
work,
myself.
your circle needs to leave you alone for an hour.
Everybody, kids, everybody. But and my husband knew that about me.
Okay.
So he knew when I came home from work, he wouldn't even be home. Him and he would take my daughter somewhere, like to the park. I would catch my breath, and then I would find them at the park or wherever they were, and then I join them. But I know I need that hour for myself, or I'm going to be cranky. But I know that about myself. Is part of the problem that people aren't being honest about who they are. And so they're getting in these relationships faking the funk. And then when the real them comes out, it's disappointing to their partner.
You know what? I just know that what it means to me is honesty. Like with your soulmate, your mate, whoever you want to call it, because I don't want to offend nobody, right? Whoever you're dating, it's all about being honest with each other and respecting that person's space. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So like, yeah, I the last woman I dated, we didn't live together, so we had each other, we had space already. So that you know, you either gonna have relationships like that, or then when you start getting with somebody and really, you know, marry them and commit, you have to, like, I think before people even move in, the communication has to be strong. You got to have a strong communication with anybody before you make a large investment like that. Let's put it that way. A relationship and a move-in and marriage and all this stuff is a commitment. It's a large toll in your life. You know what I mean? So it's a large commitment. So you got to have a great communication prior to doing any large commitment like that and moving in and dating, and you just need to be honest again, man. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's to say.
So my husband loved video games. Loved them. Loved them. Every night from 7 to say 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, he played video games. I don't give a shit because I have a life of my own. And that is, I think that goes partially with the independent thing. I hear all of this talk about independent women. You can't be an independent woman and be good in a relationship. I don't understand how that works.
Hold on, did you read that somewhere? What do you mean you can't be an independent? What? You can't be an independent.
This is part of the issue about independent women are bad at relationships. You can't be independent and in a relationship.
Well, I think it depends on what you mean by independent, right? Like, so what you like, you're independent, right? I would say you're independent, right?
Yes, but I'm also single.
I'm not going there, but I'm just saying you're independent. So, and you're strong-minded, but you'll be the typical black woman that these men are probably talking about, right? But I like once if somebody gets to know you, you're not intimidated at all. And I think a lot of black men are intimidated by, you know, a woman being what they got conformed to. Like we was talking about earlier, women got conformed to be more tough, more, you know what I'm saying, manly. Mm-hmm. So now that we're talking to them, hey baby, how you doing? She's like, yo, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not like that. I'm just joking around, but she's taking the trash out. She's doing everything. You know what I mean? Exactly. She's already doing all the stuff that, like, you know, maybe she got the financial stuff in order. She's working a great job, making over 100K. Like, you know, whatever it is now. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta love the person you with, man. And you gotta be like, you gotta put the pride away, swallow the pride, man, as a man. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You just got to.
Because at this point, I think most women have done that. My dad taught us to change the oil. He taught us to change a battery out. He taught us how to change the radiators out because he didn't want us to be dependent. If something happened, he didn't want me to have to boot over in order to get my car fixed if I didn't have the money. Hey, Shadow. It's certain things we've learned in order to build our independence. It doesn't mean that my husband couldn't fix the car, that I was going to stand over him and be like, you need to turn this lug nut this way and put this over here. No, it just meant that if shit fell apart, I could do it myself. And I think when you are dealing with a person who can do it themselves, then you have to be additive in some kind of way. Because I don't need anybody to take care of me. I've been taking care of me for a long time. But the companionship is lovely. And the support is lovely. And I am a wife. That is who I am. I already know that in my heart. That is what I am. You know what I mean? I'm not a long-term girlfriend. That's not who I am. So when I think of that kind of thing, when I think about that, and then somebody tells me, that men don't want an independent woman, and I see a guy take a girl out for dinner, and if she don't give him sex, then he's not paying for dinner, then there becomes another issue. So how can it be both ways? You can't ask for traditional in one way, but you're not willing to do the same.
I just think real quick, I love independent women. You know what I'm saying? I that's who I chase. I chase beautiful, black, intelligent, you know what I'm saying, black women. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, um, you know, I don't know, like because like my scene out there, when I'm dating too, I'm doing the same thing. I love independent women, but I think once what I really want to say, my point is they could be independent all they want. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
once we get committed and once the relationship, musters to something that we start saying we and using different words, right?
Yes.
Then there is no independence. It's we. It's we. I don't know if you want to call it we
Mhm.
independent. Make another word up for it, but it's us. It's with groups, but you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, you should be able to be independent and be on your own. If I leave you alone, yeah, I hope you're gonna be okay. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's what independence is really.
Yes.
Like,
But it doesn't mean that you're not needed. It's just, I guess, because we grew up in the age where um, we watched men lead women, and they had no education or ability to uh, take care of themselves besides a low paying job, or being a maid, or something, or things like that, that we developed this sense of, I will never be in that position, and we didn't want our daughters to be in that position. You understand what I'm saying? So when you think about the independence, especially in Black women, it was not a it was not like a natural progression. It was kind of forced upon us. We had no choice. We had to figure it out, and we had to figure it out in real time. So when you think about that, and you think about the history in it, does that change? Do you think that would change perspective on the reason being independent was so important?
Eric, you want to talk? You haven't talked in a while. I've been
Yeah, my
talking.
bad. I would just let her flow like water in a glass, So I think it's good for certain women to be independent because in certain situations, if you're in a relationship, you might not know something that she might know, and she might not know nothing that you know. You might know something that will help her, and she might know something that'll help you. So you would just have to come together with certain skills that each of y'all don't know that y'all can teach each other. Because in certain situations, the man not always going to be there, so they might have to be independent, or you might need a situation that a woman can do that a man can't do. You might need like somebody to teach you, like to handle something. Say like with kids, because I think women know more how to handle kids more than men because some of us don't have the patience to deal with kids like that most of the times, especially when they running around and stuff, toys
Mhm.
being thrown everywhere. Women got a better tolerance of handling, children in a certain situation. Us as men, we just want to get our Joe Jackson on with the switch and stuff and just lay the smack down. But I think it's a good thing for certain women to be on an independent level. But if you're in a relationship, some of that stuff might not be good for it, like in certain situations though, but it can be good in certain scenarios and stuff, but it don't really bother me. But once we get in a relationship and we building something together, I think it'll just like blossom into something way different, in my opinion.
Exactly. I was the total opposite. I was never one that could stay home and watch the kids and that kind of thing. That just wasn't my jam. And I can't even pretend that I had the patience of Job, and that stuff don't come naturally. It's not something that you just, have a baby and you just be like, all right, I'm a mother, and now I have all this patience and kindness and love. And anybody who says that is full of shit.
Yeah, they lying to themselves
Yeah,
because
even
ain't
the
no.
ones who say, I had my baby and I don't even remember the pain. You are freaking lying. You don't.
Yeah, are you serious?
Y'all remember that pain popping them kids. I hate it for y'all. They easy to make, but they hard to deliver. I salute you sisters out there for, going through that pain to bring children into this world. They remember that first child of going into that hospital and,
Yeah.
doing that thing, so
Shadow says she disagreed with the statement about men and kids. I believe that a society destructive narrative that is into split families. Men need to be all over raising kids. I agree with that because I think the first person, the first man a daughter falls in love with is her dad.
Mm-hmm. No, it's facts. All day.
And a dad, in the way he treats her mom, will show her how she should be treated as a woman. And I think people always say, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. And financially, probably not. The way getting your kid from birth to 18, probably not. But there are nuances between birth and 18 that it is that is going to be part of their development, that dads are definitely needed. And I don't care if you're a man, a boy, I don't care if you're a girl, dads are needed in that process of development.
SP, Christy says in the comments, she says, I want a man, but I don't need one. There's a difference. Now, I kind of disagree with that because don't you needs and wants? I always talk about needs and wants because I do financial planning and all that. So I always say you need something and you want something. You create a list, right? Now, do you think you need a man? Like I think it's needed. I think not saying a man. Like, if that's your choice, yeah, you need a man. I think I need a woman. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like I get it. I think I need a woman. I need somebody to hold me down. I need somebody to grow old with. I think it's a need. I mean, I think I think we're giving the word too much power. I think when Chrissy says she doesn't need a man, I think you do. I think women need. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I
I
think
don't know.
everybody needs somebody in certain situations because it make your life mean something once you have a significant other on your side going through the ups and downs in your life, and you can just build something together. It makes life worth living when you have somebody and have people around you that actually want to see you, succeed in life, especially if you have that, perfect woman. I wouldn't even say perfect woman, but the right woman for you or the right man for you to actually build something together, through the trials and tribulations of going through this crazy world. So with me in my situation, I do need a woman to actually, build something together because I just don't want to go through life not wondering if I found the right woman or if I just want to be out here on some gigolo type shit. Because if you're doing stuff like that, they just definitely get old. They just get tiresome once you get older. So me being a younger man and trying to find somebody to grow old with, that would be something that would be definitely on my list to actually find somebody to grow old with, to actually build something with. I just don't want to go through life, wondering if I found the right person, or even in a woman's perspective, if she found the right man instead of just being lonely. Because I don't think everybody want to be lonely in this world. Somebody needs somebody, you know.
So my question, my next question is, people always talk about tradition. They want a traditional woman. But in the case of wanting a traditional woman, are we able to be a tradition? Are you able to be a traditional man?
No, nobody, nobody is. I don't know why everybody's going back in the days, or the good old days. Then
Because
stop using those terms because there's no such thing. Those are just good
They
days.
don't even know the true definition of those terms because they don't. Some of these women don't know how to be independent or traditional women, and some of these men don't know how to be traditional men, especially in this era. They don't know the true definition of that. They barely could learn it from their grandparents, let alone trying to learn it in this era. Some of them might know the truly definition of that, but most of us ain't gonna know that. You're gonna find somebody who actually got a good head on their shoulders and you can actually build something with. Really traditional is an old person terms with some of these younger kids. They don't know what really traditional is in this day of life, let alone a traditional husband or a traditional wife.
so I'll just go back to when I was growing up. Men should make the first move.
Yeah, I believe that. I like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Men should always pay for the date.
Yep, I do that. I still do that.
Yeah, you're right.
I pay when I go take my daughter out. I take my cousins out. If they female aunts, nobody's
Yeah.
paying.
Open the door for the ladies. Make
Yeah,
sure she can sit down in her seat. Just be nice. Nowadays, kids, some of these dudes don't even do that. They expect the woman to pay for the meal, knowing you got a pocket full of money. They just make you look bad. Like you supposed to be a gentleman if you finding the right person. But some men date the women that they truly been dating. Throughout their so-called relationships. They might have went through a couple of flings and stuff, but they ain't found the right person. So they so used to getting their way with certain types of women in their life, or women getting with certain types of men, and they expect them to do something for them.
So your date can pick you up at your house.
I'm looking at the. I'm sorry. I'll just look at the comment. But that's funny that her son says that. But like I was like he said, I was raised to respect women. I was raised by women. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Like, what I'm saying? My mom, single
Yeah.
mother, my sister was older than me, older cousins, aunts, have more aunts than uncles. So like, you know what I mean? So I learned to respect women and walk on a certain side of the street and open doors. If you don't want me to open the door, I won't. Like I had ex-girlfriends that was like, nah, I don't like the door open. I don't like. I said, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's just and then but it was after that, it was just never done again. But then the funny thing is the women would miss that. You know what I'm saying? They would miss me
Mhm.
being a gentleman. Because I'm a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And I do all that stuff, but some of them get mad. Some of them be like, nah, I don't want. You don't have to do it every time. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, and then I'd be like, I ain't doing it at all. Then either I'm gonna do it or 100%. I'm not gonna do it at all. You know what I
So
mean?
what about if everybody says they want a traditional woman? So that means everybody is okay with not having sex.
There's no such thing as a traditional woman or a man. There's no such thing as tradition anymore.
Well, I mean, this is the stuff that I'm seeing people are at. They said they want a traditional woman. So I'm telling you what a traditional woman is. So if these are the criteria that fits a traditional woman. When we were growing up, these are the rules that were laid out to us as women. So when you say you want a traditional woman, this is the rules. You don't contact the guy until three days after a date.
No, no. Well, here's the thing. I think there should be, this etiquette. You know what I'm saying? And you can go as far as that and be more gentleman like. You know what I'm saying? Like with forks and knives, cooking dinner. You can do all types of stuff. Pull out chairs. You can go as far as I think that person around you likes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that woman doesn't like I was saying that some women don't like, that additional gentleman-like tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Some women like the just the tougher man, you know,
Well,
type. You know what I'm saying?
you
But
don't you don't kiss till the third date.
me? Is that a question?
No, I'm just saying these I'm listing off all the criteria for that people say they want traditional relationships. This is what happens in the traditional relationship.
There's nothing traditional, like I was saying, but at the same time, I think certain things we can bring back certain things that are traditional. Like, you know, I do believe in the 90-day rule. I don't think you should be getting no ass until 90 days. I ain't gonna lie, y'all shouldn't be doing no Humpty Dumpty until 90 days, man. Get to really know somebody for real. And you could date mad people. You could date
Yeah, you're
20
right. Yeah,
girls.
yeah,
You could date 20 girls, but
What about we don't wait so
keep a
long to
record.
get married?
Listen. If I'm
yeah,
single. I'm single. I date women. So if I'm dating a woman, you know what I'm saying? It might happen a month. It might happen 2 weeks. It might happen the next day. You know, sex, right? But I'm not gonna judge it
yeah,
differently. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm still gonna get to know her in those 3 months. You know what I'm saying? But the sex does
yeah.
come
I understand that. Yeah,
sooner. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't mind waiting 3 months and being traditional and trying to
yeah. I
like,
wouldn't mind either. I'd rather
date.
get to know her first than you know hit it on the first night. Cause like say that if you see a beautiful woman dressed perfectly, I just want to imagine her like what would she look like without her clothes on instead of just her being all out there. I won't mind. I'd rather get to know her on a first name basis. Then we build up our relationships. Then if we want to take it that further, we'll go that way. Nowadays, dudes, if they don't hit it on the first date, they ain't paying for nothing. Like
Yeah,
you'll be
they won't
surprised some
take
of these.
you home. They not paying for dinner, and that goes. So, do we tell women to be submissive and not be independent when it's real stuff like that happening in the world?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading comments. What'd you say? I'm looking at Christy's comments. What'd you say?
I agree, Shadow. The new trend where men are out here calling themselves alpha doesn't make sense. They want a traditional woman. First, if you got to tell someone you're an alpha, you are definitely not an alpha.
No, you gotta tell anybody anything. You're not that part. You're not that thing.
Yeah, I'm just me. I don't believe in all these crazy, terms that people be calling themselves nowadays. I'm just a man that trying to find somebody to build with. I'm not trying to do all that extra cheesy stuff y'all Negroes out here doing. And you simps too. Y'all know better to be flying these women out and expecting to get some ass. You spending thousands of dollars to try to hit these Instagram, Facebook chicks, but you could have used that money to actually take a woman out on a date and build something with, and you would have saved less money. You would have saved more money instead of just flying one of these thoughts out. And when you don't get no coochie on the first date, you taking her back to the airport.
Facts.
So, what is our conclusion? Is it is this fact or fiction? You know what I mean? It's the stuff that I'm seeing on social media and all of these podcasts about being independent women. You can't be an independent woman, and um, I'm a high quality man, and all of this bullshit that I'm seeing all over the place that people are actually buying into. Is it fact or fiction? Is this thing we call black love alive and kicking, or have we just gotten to the point where nobody cares anymore, and we're just going to beat each other up until we die out?
I still believe in black love. You know, like I told you, all I do is date. You know, no disrespect. I think Christy's Caucasian, but I only date black women. You know what I'm saying? Have I dated other races and had sex with other races? Of course, but you know what I'm saying. That was just my curiosity when I was young and stupid. But I've always drawn back to black women, beautiful black women. I just love their energy. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe in black love. I've been in love on numerous occasions. You can be in love more than once. Um, yeah, and I know, and I expect to be in love again eventually. You know what I'm saying? So I still believe in it, man.
It's definitely facts for me because they're not gonna show us at a higher standpoint with us being, together as man and woman. They always want to show the negative stereotypes of black men and black women not being together. The whole baby mama drama, the whole Jerry Springer cheaters type stereotype they try to give us in our community. Black love is still alive. It's still out there. You just look at the negative things on the mainstream media and throughout the news. They're gonna show the negative parts of it, but it's still out there. And once you see like older couples that been together so long, this shows me that black love is still living. Because if I can see my grandparents who've been together for 30 plus years or maybe even longer than that, or people who've been together since the 1940s that went through, Jim Crow era, the crack era, different situations like that throughout, the years, and they're actually still alive to show their grandkids or their family members that us being together kept the family strong, and us being a black couple as a man and woman, it shows us as a community that we can still do this, in my opinion. Some people can't be saved. I'm not gonna be out here trying to save certain women and certain men and with their problems in their relationship. Certain men gonna date certain women. They're gonna date these thoughts because that's all they used to dating. Some of these women gonna date these bum ass niggas. That's all they used to dealing with. They don't want to change. They're gonna deal with the people who they're gonna deal with. So I think it's still out here alive. Black love still here. It's just they just don't show it at a higher standard than certain people in certain other communities. Now, if you're in an interracial relationship, they'll show that all day. They'll show a black woman all day with a white dude or a Latin dude or even an Asian dude. But if a black dude get with a white woman or any type of other woman throughout the community, they'll show that too, but it'll be a negative stereotype. And with me being a young black man, I never dated outside my race. I just wanted to always be with a black woman because that's what I'm used to. It's just something, I don't know what it is. It's just something about black women that it's just the style that y'all bring, the classiness that y'all bring, and certain things we can relate to, like in interracial couples. Say if you like getting pulled over by the police, you go home, say your woman's a white woman. Was you speeding, honey? Did you have anything in the car? Did you back talk the police officer? No, honey, I just gave him my license. But you sure you didn't do nothing wrong? You always gonna get those type of stories. But with a black woman, with us being in dire situations, especially with the police nowadays in this era, we can relate to each other. But in my closing case, I'm gonna land my plane. Black love is still alive. They just show it at a negative, like situation.
So, Christy, to answer your question, what do you think about white girls with black men and vice versa? I don't care. I love who you love. Just don't use black men and black women as your excuse for loving who you love. Don't don't try to throw us under the bus because you choose something different. Just stand in your choice and be done with it. But I hate to see those things where they're um like the dude who got killed by the IG model, and he posts all of this negativity about black women,
Yeah, I know who you
about
talking
why
about.
he didn't like
They were
black
from
women.
Africa. Yep.
And then people get mad at black women because ain't nobody capping for him, but he didn't cap for us. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah,
we know how the
I don't
Africans get
care.
down.
I
We
don't
know
Yeah,
how they get
care
down.
who you
they
date
don't
as
like
long
Americans.
as you're happy, he's happy, and I have no real opinion about interracial dating. I think it's
Yeah.
whoever you choose to be with is who you choose to be with.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know if Chrissy's looking for an answer from all of us. But like I said, I dated everybody. Like I just have a certain energy with black women. I just love them, and it's just something I crave. But I've dated everybody. There's no difference in women. Not the ones I know. I've dated. Like, of course, there's differences in culture, or where they were raised, or their circle they were raised. I get it.
Hmm.
But this every pretty. I don't be like, oh, I don't have no thing in my head, the chart saying, oh, Asian women's like this, white women's like this, black. women are women to me, man, and they get on my nerves no matter what color they are. You know what I'm saying? But I love them to death at the end of the day, and I do see myself, connected with more of a, of the black woman. It's just the energy. It's the energy. I can't explain it. You know,
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
And Shadow, you never overstep your boundaries. Your conversation was nothing but additive. You and Christy, so I appreciate it. And I agree. I think Black love is alive and well. Eventually, it will find its way to me. I'm not personally looking for it. When it comes, it will come. And if it doesn't, I'm okay with that too. See, that is probably the main difference. I am comfortable in myself. I know exactly who I am. I know what I'm going to tolerate and what I'm not going to tolerate. And if I find that, I am gung ho, knowing that I am a wife. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not gonna be the person you live
You ain't no
with.
baby mama.
I,
You is a
I'm
woman.
not
Right,
You want a
Jig?
none of
husband.
that. I'm none of that. But knowing that about myself, I know the pig is a sling. So if it comes, it
Yeah,
comes. And if it doesn't, I'm good with that too because I like myself. And I
yeah.
think I think part of the problem with these conversations that are going on is people haven't gotten comfortable in their own skin and they don't like themselves, so it's hard to see the good in anybody else.
That's 100%. I mean, that's the great way to sum it up. People don't respect themselves, so how can they respect others? And of course, they're gonna like go on social media and bash anybody they can, they got a chance to because they don't love themselves. They have to learn. We have to learn to love ourselves. Hopefully, you guys learn to love yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a great circle around you. Get people that really love you and actually like you. There's a difference. Some people
Mm-hmm.
they might not like you. You need people around you that like you. There's a difference.
Exactly. And learn to tell the difference. And as my grandmother said, if you've had bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship, then you have to start looking inside yourself and and think, what am I what is what am I doing and what is wrong with me that I gravitate towards this type of individual? Because you can't keep complaining about the individuals that you're dating because you picked them. Maybe
Yep.
your picker's broken.
Can't be complaining about these niggas. You keep sleeping with them and having kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then they end up with the same type of guy. They go, oh, Johnny, whatever, he sucked. He was this, he was that. And then you see him with the same type of guy. You know what I'm saying? And you think that's going to work? Like you with the same type of guy your ex was with? And then it happens again. And then they do it again. It's like you said, people
Yeah,
know.
it's on both sides.
Yeah.
You saying you don't like these hoes, but you keep going back to them. Which
You
one
like
is
your
gonna be?
hoes.
You want the regular woman or you want these hoes? Which one is gonna be? You either gonna have one that gonna save you some money, or you gonna have one that gonna suck and drain you out of the money. Which one you gonna choose?
These hoes ain't loyal.
Exactly, Shadow. I spent years fixing me. So I am a whole person. I'm not looking for somebody to complete me. I am completed. I am looking somebody to be additive in my life. And so I think that's part of the problem. You're looking for somebody to complete you, but if you're half a person, there's no way you can give 100% when you're only 50% built.
Yeah. Speaking of Shadow, she asked a question about what do we think about the baby mama term. I mean, yes, it's a negative indentation, and we created it to be negative. But words of power. You give words power. You give them.
Yeah,
You don't give them power. So you can. I can not like it. I can like it. I mean, I mean, I don't use the word. Sometimes I use it to joke around. I make jokes. Oh, my baby mama, or something like that. And I'm always doing an accent when I'm doing it or some type of voice. But I don't go around. If I'm explaining who my actual baby mother is, I'm actually using her name. You know what I mean? Just out of respect. But like, if I'm like clowning with the guys, I'm like, my baby mama. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like doing it out in the open. But yeah, it's a term that, we turn to be kind of disrespectful and funny, kind of. But a word is a word. You give it power, like the N word. You give it power, whatever.
Yeah, I hate deadbeat dad too. My the reason it bothers me is because I don't I have never been one to be negative about my daughter's father because I think they are a part of he's a part of her. And when you are so negative and so ugly about your child's father, you are also saying something about that child because they are a part of her. And when you keep saying your daddy don't come around, your daddy don't ain't thinking about you, then you're not just putting down the dad, you're also berating that child because that child starts thinking, well, what is it about me that my dad doesn't want to be around me?
Exactly. Listen, SB man, I grew up without a father, man. Deadbeat dad type of situation. Just anything you could think of. Just that was me. I never father. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the streets, around pimps, hoes, hustlers, whatever, and they raised me, man. But I ended up learning how to respect women by being raised by women and seeing the environment, seeing
Mm-hmm.
what was around me. But at the same time, I still had the disrespect. I kind of still grew up with that disrespectful, being negative and trashy to women, kind of, because I was in the streets. So like I had a balance, you know what I'm saying, kind of.
Yeah.
But I knew what was right and wrong. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So I did what was right at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, you go through those changes. That's just part of. I always say it between people always talk about at 18 you're an adult, but my grandmother always told me at 18 you are grown. From 18 to 25, you are practicing to be an adult. Between 25 and 30, that's time to get your shit together. But from 18 to 25, you don't know enough. That you don't know enough to have everything figured out. And to put that much pressure on kids to make them think that they do is ridiculous to me.
No, 100%. Like you said, those age brackets kind of fit well. I mean, I don't like to put a lot of things in categories because that's why we're here. But everything's in categories. That's why we're so split. But at the same time, like I get what you're saying. Like people are still kids, man. Like
Yeah.
there is an age thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you haven't figured it out yet. Like so I get it. Like now that I'm in my 40s, I get it. Like I know life. I get it. I know how to be patient. I know how to this. I know that. I know
Mm-hmm.
good and bad. I know that. You're like so like now I'm functioning the way I want to function and trying to be happy on my trail of whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a learning process. I learn every day about
Exactly.
anything. I'm learning now on the show. I learn every day about a subject. I learn every day. I like to, I love doing this stuff. I love to talk. I love to research. I love to
Mm-hmm.
have these discussions so we can elevate and learn. Like I think like we never did talk about. I did meant to say one thing before we, in this relation in this conversation, but dressing is huge. Like for this whole black love situation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, like the way a man dressed, the way a woman dressed, you know what I'm saying? They that dressed decent. They had suits, so it doesn't have to be suits on. It could just be a nice polo or something. You know what I'm saying? For the guy or the woman had a nice, you know what I'm saying? Just dressing right, dressing good. The first impression, the second impression, third impression. And even after the 90 days, man, yes, you can wear sweats around the house, man. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it's like if if it's sexy time, no, like you know what I'm saying. Go put something on. You know what I'm saying. You know what to do. We've been doing this for we did this when we liked each other and we was trying to get the draws and we kept trying to get the draws and we liked the draws. Now we kept getting the draws, but now the draws are old and dusty. No, you know what I'm saying. Like keep it going. Keep the
I
love
never
going.
understood why people put on clothes to have sex.
Yeah, dad.
But that's just me. I'm not, I'm not big on the lingerie stuff because,
Nah, I come home, be butt naked, man. Or trench coat or something. Do something. Like it can be sexy, I don't mind, some like if you got regular drawers on that sexy or a sexy bra that match. I don't at least match. That's one thing. Like it don't have to be, it could be dollar store bra. I don't know, I'm just
yeah,
I know
I'm
they
with you, Shadow. If you lose the motivation to look good for your partner, it's time to talk. Yeah.
Yeah. You still got a date. I think that's what it is in a relationship.
You have to keep it fresh, especially after a few years. And you can't be doing the same thing over and over again. Missionary, then turn over doggy style, and then I ride you a little. You can't have a pattern of shit. It has to be some surprise somewhere off in there. You know what I mean? That's why I'm a firm believer. People like I put it on them. You're gonna be surprised every time. It's gonna be something pulled out the stash. Every single time. You don't just give it all away at once. Then what else is there to
Of course not.
do?
Of course not. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, there's various positions. Get the Kama Sutra book, just go on YouTube, it's right positions. I don't know. It's gonna come up, something's gonna come up. But I'm just joking around, but I'm just saying, like, there's so many things to do. It's for not to be boring, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, like you said, the same positions. It's hundreds of positions, man. But guess what? A lot of those businesses, you probably got to be in shape to do. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a short guy. I don't think I can lift women for that long and be in a position standing up. I can't. I'm putting your big ass down because usually I got big booty women. So you know what I'm saying? I can't keep you in the air for an hour. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that sex romantic novel with the dude hair flying. No, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? You got enough strength for a while to hold her up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying various positions. That's just one. I'm just saying it's different. So many. You know what I mean? And I think being in good health and then having an open mind and communication, you can continue to build on that relationship. You know what I'm saying?
And if you're looking for like our fellatio and all of that stuff, jaws get tired. You got to. I don't think people are being realistic, and they won't. Jaws hurt after a while. There's only so many, so long you can do anything before, you can't even chew a steak for more than 5 minutes.
SP, no excuses. They got exercises for that. Y'all, listen.
Yeah, that's too long.
Listen, the classes y'all women take, I be looking online, the classes y'all take fucking classes, y'all take pole classes, y'all take sucking dick classes. Y'all take so many there's classes for everything. Y'all can go online and learn how to.
But an hour is long for anybody.
Oh, of course.
That's too long. That's too long.
Yeah. No, it is. I'm not. Listen, an hour eating cootie cat. I don't even got the energy no more. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's a long time to eat some cootie cat.
I've seen penises all my life. I get it. I'm not spending an hour doing that shit no more.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, dog. And then and all the toys y'all got nowadays, like Chrissy said, maybe she don't need a man. Chrissy probably got toys for days, man. Them toys, all the men are scared of those toys. There's toys y'all got now. I'm not saying I'm joking around, but it's like it's just fucking the things that fucking they like lifesavers. They fucking got.
They can be so additive. Imagine the amount of time you just save on fellatio if you just incorporated vibrator. And I've at an age where Charlie horses are real. I'm like, you got to come on with it.
Yo, I just get tacos all the time. Like, yo, hold on, oh, wait. They she think I'm coming. I'm like, nah, my leg, nigga, my choke. Like, nah, nigga, the position. Hold on. Trying to be fancy, trying to do something, slide off the center, leg fly. I'm trying to do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I already know.
I know, Christy. After 10 to 15 minutes, I'm working on my Meg the Stallion knees. I got about 15. Got about 50. I can do 15 minutes of squats before I have to. But before I have to give it up because knees ain't what they used to be. It ain't no more 30, 40 minutes of that shit.
When you get older, you know, you do the lazy joints. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know the lazy joints. It's like a spooning. That's the lazy one. That's it. You just chill. Like you can lay down. You can lay down. And
Yeah.
your knees go out. Turn around.
Already. From the side.
Yeah, the slide move, dog. That's a classic. The classic lazy move. The classic moves.
All right, y'all. This has been fun. Thank you so much, Marquis.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on here with me. Everybody, my condolences to Maria. Her friend passed away, and she had a memorial tonight that she went to.
Yeah, I was wondering where she was at.
Drink, and so I just want to say, we give our condolences, and I hope that the memorial went as she hoped it would.
Yeah, condolences to anyone passing away. Condolences to her friend. That it's never too. It's just always bad when someone loses. You can't say just all you can do is say condolences, and hopefully they can they had enough love and in their life. They have enough memories that they can smile with. About that person. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. Like if I pass away, I want you to be able like, yo, I remember that time, Marquis. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to accomplish before I die. I want people to be like, yo, just laughing, like having fun about stories about us, and that's what I want to.
Shadow, drink water, and also add if you add a little glucosamine in the water, it really helps with leg cramps. Just saying, for one of those rough sessions, add a little glucosamine in your water.
I keep forgetting that's for you. You're the nurse. We got to give you a nurse title, like I don't know, some type of nurse. I don't know. I don't want to call you dirty nurse because you do be talking crazy sometimes. But I'll call you something. We'll call you something about a nurse. We got to give you a nurse title. That'd be some. Maybe I can give her a nurse title, aka nurse something nurse. You know what I'm saying? Nurse on the run because you always.
All right. Well, let me add this one more nursing thing in here for the ladies. Always go pee after sex. Okay. It is so beneficial, and it cuts down on the chances of you getting the yeast infection. I know you're tired, but just get up and go pee. It will change your life.
That's great advice, man. That's a great way to end the show. Go pee.
All right. So as far as we know, love is real and is still here to stay. And we will check y'all out next week. I just want to let y'all know that we are rebranding. We will be rebranding. We are changing up some stuff. I think most people know Neville is no longer a part of Powerful Impact. So, and because of that, we are changing up and we are rebranding. We're still going to bring you the same quality entertainment and the same quality topics and guests, but we think it's time to do something a little different. So we're just going to make a move, and we are going to be dropping our Powerful Impact merch for a limited run. And keep looking out for us because on November, it's going to be a whole new game.
Yo, instead of boom like a cannon, it might be a different something. I might be like bam. I don't know. It might be something else. Y'all come in with some heat. I heard about the behind the scenes. I'm in the green room and listening. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations, for real. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, Marquis, promote.
All right, man. I'm promoting the THHC podcast, which comes on Friday on YouTube on my channel. Just look up Marquis Severe Walker on YouTube. Look up Marquis Severe Walker on Twitter. Find me on. I'm not on Instagram. A long story, but I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. So find me there to connect. And then I have a podcast with on Sunday with friends from Boston at 6 p.m. called the Passive Podcast. We talk about various subjects. We have guests on, just like you're doing with me. So I'm used to this format, so I love it. And yeah, that's it, man. I got a clothing line. I make clothes. Me and my daughter have a clothing line, so we have a 15% off sale if you put TOP5 top 5 at Teespring. You can follow me and find me and support my daughter's clothing line and mine as well. We design clothes when we can.
I will.
So appreciate it, man. I just love talking and you know what I'm saying, and talking trash. That's me.
Already. Who we reviewing? Oh, I normally join them on Fridays. Who we reviewing on Friday?
Tomorrow is Jay Worthy. And you guys stay tuned for Jay Worthy, man. It's just a vibe, man. That's all I gotta say, man. It's just different ears, different music. Open your ears. Jay Worthy's dope, man. We're gonna have a good time tomorrow.
Yeah, so 8:00 THHC podcast. 8:00 Central, Christy for you and I. That's 7.
7 o'clock. Yeah, 8 Eastern time and 7 Texan time, right?
Yeah, 7 Texas time.
Fridays.
We will be in the building. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.